Holy cow, folks. Fantasy Football Island makes its return. I know it's early June, not even middle of June yet. It's early June, but this is where you win your leagues, I think. Anyway, I'm Tito Jeff Fit off. To my left, the great Chad Rink. And we are going to talk some more. We got like lots of stuff coming up here in June. I know that there's some OTAs that went on and things like that. We've had a lot happen since the offseason with new people or new faces in new places. That's how we put it, Chad. They also had obviously the NFL draft, all kinds of things to talk about. But let's start off with this. Let's go back to the NFL draft now. And Chad, I think we have to stress to everybody, right? The difference between when you look at the rookies versus dynasty versus redraft leagues, big difference, right?
It's huge because if you're in a redraft, a lot of times rookies take half the season and then they kind of find their way. They get in the realm of the team scheme and just the day-to-days of the NFL. Dynasty, it's a whole different ballgame because you're going to elevate most guys from there. There are some, and we'll talk about the higher end rookies that came out still that I like in redraft. But a lot of the times in redraft, I'm either going to, if you could stash some guys, fine.
Right.
But I'm maybe staying away and then trying to trade for some of these guys like halfway through the season if they haven't done anything, and there might be a path for them to get some more playing time.
Yeah, it feels like, specifically with me, like when I look at you're right, redraft leagues, it's like rookies are not to be taken early. I don't care who it is. If it's a redraft league, if every year you're going to turn your roster over and start over again, I'm not leaning on many rookies. Jeremiah Love, for instance, he was ranked or drafted by Arizona, number 4 overall, if I'm not mistaken, right? Number 4. And he is going to be, I believe, a really good running back there. From day one, probably not.
Right.
And so in a dynasty league, yes, I love Jeremiah Love. In a redraft league, I look at Love as somebody who I'm going to take much later because, like you said, it'll take half the year probably for him to really get going. And the same thing with quarterbacks. Mendoza might be the best quarterback in the draft. Number 1 pick overall. Might be the best quarterback. He's not going to start week 1, I don't believe. I think Cousins will be starting there week 1. And look at rookie quarterbacks. They don't look at even Peyton Manning, John Elway, guys like that. They're not great out of the gates. And so redraft leagues, so much different in that, especially with running backs and quarterbacks. Do you agree with that?
I do. Like quarterbacks, I cannot. Like Andrew Luck is really the only one that kind of comes to mind that was decent, but none of these guys are, I don't think, the top 10 quarterback in fantasy their rookie year. Even running backs, look at Genty last year. I think Genty was a better prospect coming out than Love. He's in a better situation than Love is this year. He was better last year, and he's still kind of disappointed by taking. He was taken end of first in the second round in most like redrafts, and it just didn't work out that well. And so I don't really take a lot of rookies. Like if I'm taking a rookie running back receiver, it's probably as RB3, maybe a wide receiver 3. Rookie quarterbacks, they are like stash flyers for me. They're really just maybe pick them up partway through the year and not waste a roster spot early and try to just get maybe a couple weeks ahead on that. But I think there's too many good quarterbacks most years that I'm just kind of really staying off reookies and redrafts and guys quarterbacks.
If you look at like the rookie QB season we talked about, yes, there's been recent time, like Jaden Daniels had a great rookie season. He certainly did. CJ Stroud had a really good rookie season. Dak, when he got pushed into action, he had a decent rookie season. He threw for 3,667 yards, 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Dallas went 13-3. RG3, we know how that worked out. Cam Newton also had a great rookie season, but rushed for 14 touchdowns, which is huge. But other guys like that, Troy Aikman had a bad rookie season. Eli Manning, John Elway, all these guys had Alex Smith. Ryan Leaf, I don't want to talk about him. But there's been some really bad rookie quarterback seasons. Just one of those things where, yes, in a dynasty league, I'll take the chance.
Yeah.
In a redraft league, I don't want to be anywhere close. I don't want to roll the dice. If it's a good rookie quarterback, that means he got drafted to a bad team in all likelihood.
Yeah, and if you look at it like with RG3 Cam, Daniels. If you are going to take a chance, you better take a guy that's going to rush for a ton of yards.
That's
and it's going to be that. That's huge. And that's just with most quarterbacks. But if you're taking a rookie, it looks like those are the guys for the most part. Or you're just an elite guy like Dan Marino.
Yes, Marino's thing was unbelievable. But okay, so now we both agreed that RB1s, and as much as I like Jeremiah Love, I don't have the same vibe about him as I did about like Adrian Peterson coming into the league. You know what I mean? Like Peterson, I just kind of thought he'd be great right away. I don't know about Arizona's offensive line. Their supposed starting quarterback, who's bad, and Jacoby Brissett, is trying to get better money than he's worth, and he might not be the starting quarterback. So now you're looking at what was their situation? They have Carson Beck, and they also have
Uncle Rico.
Yes,
Uncle Rico. Baby.
Yes, they Gardner Minshew's that one. So I don't want any part of a running back taking handoffs from those two guys, and really, honestly, not even from Jacoby either.
No, they're going to be behind. I don't think they're going to be good. They won't score a lot,
right?
And the whole Jeremiah Love. I don't mind getting Jeremiah Love, but they went and got Tyler Algier,
right,
who I think is a solid running back.
Sure.
And I think it was Mike Greenberg said it best. He's like, if you're these pieces away, like you're not a top running back away from being good,
right?
So I'm staying off of Love in redraft, and then maybe trade for him later when it looks like, because I think he's probably a better talent than Algier, but I just don't think. I think he could end up being like a lesser Genty because you're on a bad team. They're gonna have to throw a lot, and their receiving core is good. So if they can get any kind of competent quarterback play, they're going to be throwing the ball, I think, a lot more. And I think it's going to be a split backfield.
And when you've got then, okay, so on the running back situation there, the number 2 running back off the board was Jadarian Price from Notre Dame also, and he went to Seattle. And as far as like when drafts happen, as far as value goes, if you're in a redraft league, value goes, you'll get better value on Price than you will on Love.
You will. Yes.
I think you'll have to overdraft Love because he's the top running back going.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's how it goes with running backs. I mean, and then a lot of the times, and look, I treat it a lot like the NFL teams treat running backs like, you know, I'm not going to overpay for one.
No.
I'll let somebody else develop them, and then I'll take them after that kind of thing. That's how I look at it.
Right.
With the quarterback situation, Mendoza was the first one taken, and then you had Ty Simpson. And Ty Simpson is at least, hopefully, if you're a Rams fan, hopefully at least a year away from playing, maybe 2. And so you might look at that as a situation kind of like the old Packers situations where you had Favre and then you have Rodgers. Rodgers sat for like 3 years. You have Rodgers, you have Love sat for a couple of years. Simpson is somebody who has zero value.
Yes.
In a redraft league unless Stafford's your starting quarterback and at the end of the draft he's sitting there and just give either him or your third tight end, then you take Simpson.
Yeah, I just am like I don't know how good Simpson's going to be either.
Right.
Like for rookie quarterback, Mendoza's probably going to get at some point the starting job, but half a year with Mendoza on a very bad Raiders team with not very good weapons. And I hate saying this, like if I'm taking any chance on a rookie quarterback this year,
right,
and I've done it in both of the leagues we're in,
all right,
and I hate saying that because I don't think he's that good, is Carson Beck.
Yeah. Just
for the fact Brissett's having these issues with the pay. Brissett's a good backup. He's nothing.
No.
Minshew's proven that he really doesn't have what it takes to be a pro quarterback week in, week out. Beck, you tie him with Marvin Harrison Jr., who I still think is going to be a good receiver.
He better be.
Michael Wilson, who looked really good last year. They're looking, he's going to play the Puka role in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the best tight end in the league in Trey McBride.
Yeah.
I may take a chance. Like, again, not as my QB1, probably not even as my QB2.
Right.
But I think in Dynasty, take a flyer on Beck.
Absolutely. The Mendoza thing, though, like if you're in a redraft league, when Mendoza starts, it's gonna be if they suck, right? Like if Cousins comes out and goes 5-1, they're not taking Cousins out of the lineup. If he comes out 0-6, then they will. Yeah. Why are they 0-6? Not just because of Cousins. There's other crap going on with that team, and so you don't want any part of that. So the quarterback and running back thing, that's how we look at it with the running backs, and just know what your league rules are. If there's, if it's a keeper league, we can keep some players. That's also going to play into this as well. depending how the league is set up. But I think that the position we feel best about drafting as far as rookies go is wide receiver. And this year is really no different. Carnell Tate goes to Tennessee very early. Jordan Tyson to New Orleans. You had Lemon go to Philly. You had Concepcion go to Cleveland. All these guys that went out there. And then Omar Cooper Jr. to the Jets. Denzel Boston to Cleveland. So as far as the receivers go, is there one out of that bunch you like more than the others?
I think Carnell Tate's probably the most talented. And I believe that Cam Ward's a solid quarterback.
Right.
He was my one. However, we'll get to A.J. Brown with new faces and new places. Right. But Kyle Lemon kind of looks good now.
Yeah.
So I think he would be my top guy. And again, I wouldn't take any of these.
You take Lemon over Tate now?
I think I would.
Okay.
Just because I think that offense is probably going to score more.
Okay.
I think he's going to be the clear number 2.
Okay.
And I just think Tennessee may have some issues and stuff, but I'm still not taking any of these guys before as a wide receiver 3. I don't think.
Yeah, I can see that because, I like Tate only because Cam Ward's got a second year now. He showed flashes last year. I still think Cam Ward's very talented.
Yes.
But you're right. Lemon stepping into that role with Philadelphia now that A.J. Brown's gone, that's very attractive as well. I'm not a big fan. First of all, Jordan Tyson, okay. Tyler Shuck, he looked great. I'm sorry, not great. That was hyperbole there. He looked good.
It's our first one back.
I know he looked good. He didn't look great. I'm not going to get crazy here. So, but I still think Olave is the guy there, obviously. Yeah. But the Cleveland situation with their receivers, with KC and then also with Denzel Boston, I am not. Look, I don't trust any Cleveland quarterback. I don't know who it is.
Right.
I don't care who it is. I don't. If it's Watson, I don't trust him because we haven't seen him do anything in a couple of years now. And if it's not him, it's Sanders. I don't trust that either because I know what Sanders can do.
Right.
So I don't think I love either of the Cleveland. And I don't even like Cooper that much from the Jets. But you start looking at it like Bernard for Pittsburgh maybe could be somebody. Chris Bell in Miami, maybe somebody over the Cleveland guys. I'm just not in love with Cleveland guys.
No, and again, in the dynasty and that kind of stuff, I just didn't like this class overall.
Yeah.
In dynasty, I don't mind taking chances. In redraft, I think the Browns and the Jets and all of these teams, I don't think they're going to probably average more than 20 a game.
Right. No.
And I fear the Browns, you're going to rely on Judkins, I think, a lot. Mm-hmm. And that defense took a step back with, I like Burst, but he's no Myles Garrett. So with the rookies this year, I'm really kind of out on, I think, all of them. I would take some flyers, like receiver-wise. If it's like a wide receiver 4 or 5, maybe. Mm-hmm. The couple guys I do like to take a flyer on late, like probably running back 5 or 6, is I like Nicholas Singleton, and I think he could win that job in Tennessee. And I do like Emmett Johnson. Walker has been injured in the past.
Right.
I know Kareem Hunt's still there, but he's getting older, so I don't mind those two. I'm not a big Kalen Black because, again, I don't think he's going to be even – I know the Niners are the Niners. He's not close to what CMC is, but I'm really if I got 0 rookies in all of my redrafts, I would not be upset unless, I can get kicker Trace Mack.
There you go. Yes, that's the one you want to get. And we'll wrap up the rookie stuff here, talking about the tight end situation.
Yeah.
And, Sadiq, look, I like Sadiq. I do. I think that Kenyon Sadiq has some value for the Jets, but again, we don't. That's only if you believe in the quarterback throwing to him, and that's where you got to believe in there on that one. And so, beyond rookie tight ends, there's been some great ones. There's been some crappy ones too. It's that is such a lottery ticket there you're buying when it comes to the tight ends, because there's guys that have come out, and we're like, oh, Kyle Pitts could be great. Yeah. Got to get him. And then, but that's why in redraft leagues, I'm not drafting a rookie tight end and counting on anything from him. In a dynasty league, if I've got multiple picks, why not? I'll grab somebody maybe in the rookie draft there. But Stowers in Miami. What do you got for the Rams? You got Max Clare for the Rams.
Yep.
I I don't expect much out of rookie tight ends.
No, Stowers is Philly, isn't he?
Oh, Philly, yeah.
No, I like Stowers' talent the best of all of them.
Yep.
He's going to be behind Goddard. Those are the guys I think, because again, like, you don't know, like Fannin was huge last year and kind of came out of nowhere for the Browns. It's one of those things where I'm just going to take a chance on other tight ends. And then, like, again, I'm never hardly ever going to draft two tight ends unless you have to.
Right.
And just hope that if one of these guys breaks out, I've got a top waiver wire pick, and I'll figure the tight end out and not rely on a rookie tight end.
So let's move over now to people that have moved on to new places. And the first one, we'll get A.J. Brown, but I want to talk first about Kenneth Walker III. He was coming off the fact that he was Super Bowl MVP. He was frustrating, I think, for owners.
Yes.
Because he was inconsistently available, if that makes sense. And look, Kansas City, you go to that, it's a fantastic situation for him to go into that offense. Mahomes, it appears he's going to be ready for week one. But like something like that, I think is huge for him. Do you think that Kenneth Walker III will be a top 10 running back this season?
I don't, because for a couple reasons. One, I think they'll probably mix in other guys.
Okay.
2, injury history. And 3, if you look at Andy Reid's history with running backs for fantasy, he's coached for a long time. I think he's maybe only had 2 years, maybe 3,
right,
where he had a guy finish top 10.
Okay.
And he's had good teams. It's just they mix it out. If Mahomes is healthy, he's probably going to sling it.
Yeah.
Unless Rashid Rice is not available.
Right. Well, who knows on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I like Walker. I don't know if I would want to go into a season with Kenneth Walker III as my RB1.
I don't think I would either. And that's the thing. I think that this is part of all the fantasy, or like strategy stuff we talk about, is know the room, because you might have a guy in the room, or girl. Sorry, I should just say guy because I was going to say stupid, but girl. So anyway, you're going to have somebody there that this guy was Super Bowl MVP. He's got to be really good. And now he's with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And you look at it that way, but look at Walker's career. You know what I mean? And look at it like, and so Walker's a guy that I probably won't get in many of the drafts I do, because I'm not going to want to pay the freight of a Super Bowl MVP. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's hard to get good value on Walker because somebody else in your league is going to look at it as Super Bowl MVP and they're going to take him. Super Bowl MVP with the Chiefs? Oh my gosh, yes, go for it.
Exactly. And, I'm not, he's probably going to go second, third round. I am not paying that price. I probably wouldn't even pay fourth. If he's there in the 5th round, I've already got an RB1.
Yeah.
I probably I'll pick him up, draft him.
Yeah.
After a big week 1 and week 2,
move him,
flip him.
Yeah, right. Get rid of him.
Probably what I would like to do. And it's going to be interesting because if Mahomes is not ready week 1,
right,
Justin Fields will be there.
Yeah.
I don't mind if that's like before your draft with a Fields, and if they run some sort of RPO with Fields, it could open up some stuff for Walker. But I would just rather have someone else take Walker. And if he has an unbelievable year, good on that guy. I would just, like you said, the draft price, I think, is going to be too high.
Okay, speaking of Fields, if you draft Mahomes, do you have to draft Fields?
I don't think so. I think, and you and I both have been Fields supporters over the years. I think Fields is what he is. With the Chiefs, I think they can scheme stuff up for him if they run him properly. I just like I'm not a big guy on drafting my team's backup quarterback because most teams' backup quarterbacks aren't nearly as good, and then you're just wasting a roster spot.
Yep.
I would rather just take a chance on, and again, if you're in a 10-team league, most teams you're not going to have teams that are probably going to draft 3 quarterbacks. So you're talking about you're going to get 2 of the top 20 quarterbacks. I would just rather get a starting quarterback as my backup,
right?
Especially and just kind of match up whatever bye week that is, and just go from there. So I'm not really, I wouldn't draft Fields unless we knew Mahomes is going to be out for like 4 to 6 weeks.
And that's the thing. It's like, it all depends when you draft too.
Yeah.
Like you can look at it, if you want to do a deep dive on it, you can say that, okay, the fact the NFL put the Chiefs and Broncos in the first Monday night game of the season they have to believe, I would think, that Bo Nix and Patrick Mahomes will be starting that game. They'll both be starting that game. I don't think they would do it if they thought it'd be Justin Fields against Bo Nix or whoever Denver throws out there. Yeah. I don't think they do it unless they felt very confident in that. And so that leads me to think that he'll be ready for week 1.
Yeah.
But I'm always against taking 3 quarterbacks, but last pick of the draft again, last round, if I've got Mahomes, I might take a flyer on Fields.
Right.
And yeah, you're right. You and I are more of the I think that we are people who, the two of us, are ones that like Fields most than the rest of the country, probably.
I'm starting to fall away from that.
Okay.
I was mad we got rid of him for Caleb Williams because I didn't think Caleb Williams is going to be anything. And then I'm like, I will say here now, I was wrong.
Yeah.
We made the right decision there. But yeah, I think Fields has to be in the most perfect situation, and they have to utilize his running ability.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about receivers now. And 3 that changed teams. Jaylen Waddle's to the Broncos now. You also have Mike Evans with the 49ers, another one there. And those in the Colts trading Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers.
Yep.
So looking at those right there, and A.J. Brown, obviously, to the Patriots. Out of all that right there, rank them for me. Let's go Waddle, A.J. Brown. Who did I say in there? Waddle,
Evans,
and also Pittman.
Can we throw in DJ Moore?
We can throw in DJ Moore. Fine. We'll go 5.
Do an easy
Why not?
5.
We're both going to make him 5, but go ahead.
I think it's an obvious A.J. Brown 1.
Uh-huh.
I think he's the most talented of the bunch.
Right.
He's back with Vrabel if Vrabel doesn't just stay away from the team forever.
There we go. Yes.
And I think he's probably got the best quarterback. I mean, Josh Allen, but
yeah,
they like to run. But I think Brown is a surefire 1.
Okay.
I
agree with that. The 2's a tough one now because
it really is. I don't mind Waddle at 2.
Waddle going to the Broncos with Bo Nix.
I know,
he'll be the number 1 there.
Yeah, Evans' age, Evans' talent, but and he's in that Niners offense.
He's only 32. I always say age. He's not 35. He's 32.
I think I put Evans too. He's with the Niners offense. I think he's going to probably end up being their 1.
I think he'll have the most receiving touchdowns on the team.
Yeah, exactly. I think I put Evans 2. Give me DJ Moore 3. I think DJ Moore with the Bills.
Right.
They need somebody. And DJ Moore, he's a solid guy that's going to get open. I think they'll scheme him open. I have him 3. I think Waddle 4, Pittman 5. I think Rodgers can get in the ball. I just don't know how long Rodgers is going to be even able to play.
That's the thing. And that's why, look, Pittman, I think his ceiling is 3, but I think his floor is 5 with him. He could be anywhere in that range right there.
Yeah.
And look, he got a big contract. The Steelers paid a lot. They ended up giving up a lot to get Michael Pittman Jr. And as much as I like his talent, you're right. It's like back in 2023, he had 109 catches. He had 1,152 receiving yards. I don't think those are the numbers he will put up this year.
No, I don't. But I think he's a good. I think having Rodgers there is good. I think Rodgers will just get him the ball.
Yeah.
Because Rodgers locks into one guy if you trust him. And
sure.
The way Pittman runs his routes too, he can go underneath. I think he'll be okay. I just think the Steelers are not a high, powerful offense. They're gonna I don't know. It's gonna be different because I don't know what the Steelers are gonna look like without Mike Tomlin,
right?
Either. And I just like Waddle. I think in the Broncos offense, I think they're gonna score more points, and I will always just take a guy in an offense that's going to push the ball, score over a guy that may be a little bit more talented, but they're not going to have as many opportunities.
All right, let's switch over now, and we're just going to look at. It's way early. It's okay. It's early.
It's too early.
But let's talk about a couple of guys. We'll look at a first round draft.
Okay.
And where certain guys will go. And we will tell you right now, as we always tell you, if it's a standard scoring league, if there's no super flex, don't draft a damn quarterback.
Do not.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless you're in a league with me or with Rink, then please take one early. But you can take them later. There's not it's if it's a 4-point passing, a huge difference. Just know your league's rules. But let's just go right now. Let's assume everyone's in a standard scoring league. or it's 4 points or a
Right.
passing touchdown. It's it's the rushing yards. It's all the 0.1 or whatever it is, or 10 yards gets you whatever. But anyway, it's a standard scoring league. Are Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson going to be the first 2 picks in some order if it's not PPR?
I think they should be even in PPR.
Even in PPR, okay.
They both can catch the ball out of the backfield. I think Atlanta, I think both of them getting different RB2s help. I think they're both in better situations with Montgomery
leaving to Houston,
going
right?
to Houston, and then getting the other. So be careful drafting a B. Robinson for Atlanta.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So Brian Robinson, I think, is a downgrade from Algier.
Yes.
And so I think Robinson and Gibbs are both going to get more opportunities. I still think they'll try to run Pacheco in the David Montgomery mold. I think they just won't give him as many opportunities. So I think Gibbs, Robinson, PPR, I just think they are just the 2 most talented best, and I would take them over all the wide receivers.
Yeah.
But then I think I would take probably 5 wide receivers before the next running back.
Okay, so you are saying even a PPR league, Gibbs and Robinson in some order should be your 1 and 2 picks. Should be the top 2 picks.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. In a PPR league, yeah, you're saying it's the same thing. It's Gibbs and Robinson. In a traditional standard league, it's also Gibbs and Robinson. I agree with you on that. Now we get to the receivers. And we're going to give you the rankings here based on standard leagues, but also consider PPR and half-point PPR is still going to be the same thing, I got to believe, with most of these guys we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Guys like Puka Nacua, who's had some off-season issues that he is apparently has addressed. JSN in Seattle. You've also got Jamar Chase. You've got the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You've got CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, who had a down year last year, but this year he's hoping is an upgrade, having Kyler Murray there. How do you rank those guys right there we just talked about?
I still think Chase is the one. I think the Bengals have gotten better defensively. I just think they're a better team. I give me Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase. Obviously, I don't think he's going to have some of these numbers he's had in the past. Burrow should take a book out of Flacco. Like, dude, just throw Jamar Chase the ball 20 times a game.
Yes.
That seems to work out.
Yes.
I think Chase is one. And then I think I go Nacua. I just think I think his targets I would trust his targets more than anybody else.
Okay.
The thing with Chase, you have Higgins, but I think he's still the one. Give me Nacua 2. And then I would probably throw Justin Jefferson in this 3. It sounds crazy. And then I think I'd go Sun God 4, JSN 5. I think JSN is going to take a step back. I still love his talent. I think
it's hard to duplicate the same numbers he had.
Yeah. And then, CeeDee, that's what I'm saying. And then you got CeeDee Lamb. So you got Chase, Nacua, JSN, Sun God Lamb, Jefferson. I'm taking all 6 of those guys after those first 2 running backs. And I don't think that I don't care. I would rather, if I don't have 1 or 2, give me 7 or 8. Because if you say you have to take one of these guys, I just give me the one that kind of falls.
Yeah.
I'm like, because if you told me any of those guys were the top wide receiver in fantasy, I would be that okay.
Yeah. Look, and you got to see, didn't mention Drake London, didn't mention, like George Pickens or Devonta Smith, who now is clearly the number 1 in Philly. You got Chris Olave in New Orleans.
AJ Brown even.
Yeah, AJ Brown in New England, right? There's all these guys out there. T. Higgins, Malik Neighbors coming back from the injury. There's a lot of guys out there that could certainly produce. And so it feels to me like if I'm picking in the middle of a round, say I'm like 5 or 6 in my draft, whatever, I'll probably take 2 receivers.
Yeah.
I think I'll do that. And then try to pick off running backs later on, see if you can go out there and get, maybe at that point it's like it's a Chase Brown type of thing. Maybe it's the Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams in Dallas, who I liked last year.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about the Javonte Williams and George Pickens.
Okay.
Both had huge years last year.
Yeah.
And I love Pickens going in. I still like Pickens. I don't know if I love him as much. Javonte Williams, I got him in a lot of leagues that we drafted for other people. He was a guy I had on a bunch of my teams.
Dude, because you got him late last year.
Yeah, and so you get him that way. Who is most likely to perform at the same level? Williams or Pickens?
I think Javonte Williams, because I think Dallas understands, like, we got to try to run the ball more.
Right.
He's going to get all the goal line carries, I would imagine.
I would think.
And you got Lamb, you got Ferg. I think there's a lot of things. You had a couple other guys like Flournoy, like Pickens is still huge, and but with Lamb with a full year,
right?
I think it's going to take away from Pickens, and I'll just take Williams to be able to repeat closer to what he did last year than Pickens.
I feel better about Pickens from the standpoint of he's on the franchise deal.
Yeah.
Look, we saw Pickens. I don't want to say he loafed, but he didn't shine in Pittsburgh until he was gone on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And then a great year for that, which is why I drafted him a lot of leagues. I loved him. And now the fact that he's on a potentially tag, and so they're trying to negotiate a long-term deal with him. But if he's on the tag, I love him even as much this year, thinking that he's going to shine this year. And I like Dallas to have to throw a lot, and I think that it'd be tough for him to duplicate last year, but I think I would take Pickens over Javon as far as like just looking at who has the best chance of duplicating what they did last year. Give me Pickens in that one, unless they come to an agreement on a long-term deal before that.
I gotcha.
And then all of a sudden, he's in the dumpster for me.
I would still take, like, if I'm in the third round, I think I would still take, depending on if I had what wide receiver, right? I probably wouldn't take Pickens, especially if I got Lamb.
Yeah.
But I think if I had wide receiver, running back, in a Pickens in the third round, Pickens or Williams, I think I'm taking Pickens over him.
See, I'm telling you now, this year, just everyone who knows this now, I'm going to tell you, I'll make this statement, and Rink and I are in a couple leagues together. I am going to load up on Cowboys this year. Yeah. I love Dak. I love Williams. I love Pickens. I love Lamb. I'm going to load up on Cowboys everywhere I can. And I just think they're going to have the most dynamic offense in the league. And I said that without thinking about who would be more dynamic. I still think it's Dallas. Now I thought about it. I still think Dallas will have the most dynamic offense in the league this year.
I agree, because I think they understand, like, this could be our one last chance.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to go all out, all the stops, and do it. And they have, when Dak's been healthy, they put up points.
They do. Yeah.
And so, like, why not, like, draft guys from good teams? Again, I love a Dak in one of those two combination in any league. And I think Dak's one of those guys too that he's like, he always ends up like in the 5th to 10th of quarterbacks.
Always.
I would take him. I would rather take him over Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson. I think even Caleb Williams.
Yep.
I think it's basically Allen. And then you could talk me into Dak over Drake May. Drake May's got, it's just, I don't know.
Right. No, I think you're right. And by the way, I know it's not huge, but he's in a dome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he's in a dome.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, you can have bad weather in the New England area in Foxborough.
Yes.
Come the end of the season. In Dallas, I don't think it gets that bad because you're in the dome.
Right.
I think they're okay there.
And I think Vrabel's got two very good running backs.
He does, yes.
And so I think their defense still isn't great. So Vrabel's a good coach, and I think he's going to try to be okay. We can't let Drake May just run around and, AJ Brown's there, but I think they're going to try to, and I think they'll probably be ahead a lot.
Yeah.
And so, like, why not just pound it with those two guys?
Folks, that's it for this edition of Fantasy Football Island. We're back again. Look, lots to talk about here throughout the month of June. We're going to do a lot of talking, hopefully do a lot of listening, and we all do a lot of winning. That's it. I'm Tito. He's Chad Rink. He is at Ocho Rinko.
Chad Ocho Rinko.
Chad Ocho Rinko on Twitter, on the X. I am at That Happens. We'll talk to you again soon, folks. And it's not too early to start prepping for fantasy football.